Hey yo, it's your boy Caleko. Welcome to my channel if you're not used to being here. This is a live stream where I plan on carving some fire agate for some of my patrons. Now I have some stones over here I have previously been working on, and I will show those to you a bit better at the other angle, if not so dark. I know the lighting's sort of messed up at this way, but this is the only way you're going to see my face at the moment. And I've been working on a new live streaming setup for all of my people here on YouTube and hopefully on other platforms. And I'm starting to get the cameras and stuff dialed in. But the streaming service itself that I tried using for Facebook yesterday and ran a test for YouTube, I'm not so sure about. Maybe it's me. There's definitely a long delay in it. But I plan on carving some fire agate here. It says I got 3 people in the room. And I think I'm going to start with this piece right here that I have. Let me turn you guys around real quick. This is a piece I just found inside of on the table where I do my auctions on the weekends. And I was walking by it and I saw this thing just sort of sitting on top. And it seems pretty good size. Lots of orange and copper showing out on it. Who knows what will happen with it? We got 6 people in the room. Elite Gaming said, "What's up? Just chilling here in pain after my knee surgery. When is the next auction?" The next auction I am having is tonight at 9 p.m., 9:30 my time, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. Here are a couple of other stones I have to work on for patrons. This one I've worked on a bit. I think I'm going to carve on it a bit more with a 600. Maybe round some of these grooves out that are in it. Get some of the tool marks out of it too. Nice little ring stone right here. Danny Burns asks if I am willing to carve for somebody that has the stones but not the equipment. No, sir, I am not. I have tendonitis issues in my hands at the moment. I can't carve for myself or for my patrons as much as I would like to. Here's a stone that I had for sale up in my auctions last week. And it's almost done. I need to finish it off right around here, get rid of some of the fluff, and also get rid of some of the tool marks on it. Got a bit much on the tool marks. The flash is showing up mighty yellow today for some reason. Colors aren't showing up the way they should, like the way they're showing to me. 9 people in the room. How you doing, 9 people? But for a couple of pieces like this piece and this piece, I'm just going to take a 600 burr and I'm going to try and get rid of some of the tool marks that are inside of the piece. Get it to where it ends up hopefully laying a bit better and the light shines over it a bit better when I go to fully polish it. That's the idea. And I'm going to be using a Prodigy Flex shaft that I picked up from Rio Grande. It's the most inexpensive and most useful one I have found. Oh, where are my burrs? I'm also planning on using some Varicore burrs. I need to buy some more tools. Another thing that has sort of held me back from doing some of the carvings I would like to do is I need some more better tools. Got 8 people are in the room. This one we can do. Here's another one I'm working on. What happened with my water? My water just stopped dripping. There we go. This water system I've been using that I set up going from my sink and running above the bathtub, and this drip system, it has not been working for me that optimally. If I can think of some way to finagle this and make it better besides just going and working in a different room, maybe, I don't know. This whole thing's a little bit wonky. It works, could be a little bit better. Let me zoom in a little bit more because there's a whole bunch of nice green and red hiding underneath this brown. There is videos inside my specimen cleaning playlists that you can find all that gem geezer. You can find all of that information in videos I've done previously. The one I'm using right now is a Varencore Flame Tip 600. I already talked about the tool I'm using is a Prodigy Flex Shaft from Rio Grande. You want me to go over all of my tools? Not quite possible, but if you go into some of my previous videos I've made, you'll find answers to a whole bunch of questions that you do have. See what else I can expose on this one. I should probably be doing small circles a little bit more. I'm not doing any small circles there. It's probably doing me a disservice. I want to get rid of any tool marks and not make new ones, that's for sure. Right now I'm just pumping the speed on it, not keeping it steady, not just going non-stop. Oh, this would be considered grinding. I'm using a hard tip. Being that it's not a soft tip, I really wouldn't call it polishing. I'm not sure on that one, Modern Prospector. Digging once again, the damage I've done to my hands is really holding me back from doing too much of that at the moment. Haven't healed as fast as I would like to. I need to put in some more time, effort, and energy into rehabilitation because I've definitely not healed the way I'd like to. So that keeps me from being able to do the type of stuff I was doing before. Now that doesn't mean I can't go out and make videos of places and give you other people's stories along the road. Just means that the kind of digging I was doing at the moment is not in the works or in the plans just right now at the moment. Oh, my off screen. One of the things I tend to do that I'm always careful of now that I've been carving a little bit longer is I try to avoid using a lot of pressure. I don't think I was near as conscious of the pressure the first couple stones I tried to carve, and really putting a bunch of pressure really puts tool marks more in there. Oh, there's a bunch of other people making some videos. Well, knocking the camera over. The new setup I've been working on, I will be able to use it for this sort of live stream, but for the sales live stream, it does not look like it'll work for that. It's too much lag. There's a huge amount of lag in it. Oh, I'm off screen again. Let me fix this a little bit. Crickal Master has a very good point about what part of my issue is with getting back out there and doing a whole bunch of digging, is that everything I'm doing is with my arms and my hands, and even this carving right here, it causes me problems because the main issue I'm having is in this section right here with inflammation in my tendons. So that has definitely put a huge cramp in the way I work, that's for sure. I've gone from being able to like go hard to not being able to go at all is really how it is. Even typing keys on the keyboard is messing with me. I had to get a different mouse because holding the mouse was causing me pains. Come on, drip. Where's my drip at? Fire Slayer asking where the fire agate came from. This piece of fire agate is from the Opal Hill fire agate mine in California. Closed to the public for the minute and being patrolled by BLM officers to try and ticket people, supposedly. Or that they can. And I've actually had an officer at one point up there harassing, and I would definitely couldn't put it as harassing friends of mine right after I sold the claim to the current owner. I have a whole story of that I've been working on, and I thought I was waiting on some information from the BLM themselves, but now I just realized that they just decided to ignore me because I'm just a nobody, which that's fine. It's no big deal. I'll just move on with all the public information I have. It's no big deal on my part. It will not be open this fall and winter, Modern Prospector. I will be up there, but it will not be open. It will not be open to the public. I should make a whole video on the thing, but I've gotten conflicting stories from two separate parties, and basically I'm the one in the middle, so as far as it goes, I will not be opening that mine to the public because I'm being threatened by the BLM with all kinds of hokey stuff. So until the BLM and the person that actually owns the mine get everything all worked out, I'm not going to be the person in the middle getting harassed by the guy with the badge and the gun, especially since one of those guys with a badge and a gun just recently shot an ATV rider for pretty much no reason at all. Supposedly illegal ATV activity, which nobody was even charged, so I doubt that's even true. I think this one might be ready for me to move on to a different grit on it, except in this area. This one little area right here. The one I'm telling you is not even a story. This happened on the 11th of January. Well, it's a story, I guess, but at one point I was thinking about even contacting the ATV rider that the BLM officer had shot, but I found an article where she had been interviewed, and the only questions that person had would pretty much be the same questions I had, except for maybe putting them on camera myself. But it's completely, the whole story's just messed up. I mean, anyways, I shouldn't even be talking about it now because it's something I've been working on that I have had on the back burner while waiting for information. But I'm waiting on information from the government. Oh, I'm already just running with the information I have. I'm not waiting on them anymore. I've pretty much come to the conclusion that the person who I regularly converse with is not the person that is actually dealing with this matter on their part, and the person that's actually dealing with this matter on their side doesn't think I'm even worth responding to, so pretty much nothing I can do about that unless I want to make a big complaint, which I don't. Where's my water at? Come on, man. This is why I'm going to end up making a different drip system, and I'm not going to disconnect from the main water in the house, at least for this. It's so finicky compared to when I just had it running off of a 2.5 gallon bucket up above. It wasn't near as finicky. Now it's just pouring out. Ooh. I'm just going to end up cutting that end off anyways. That's going to end up just being chopped off. It's pretty much at this point just looks like a waste of space. Waste of agate on there. Yeah, that whole thing is a convoluted mess, that's for sure. I'll wipe this one off real quick and see what it looks like dry. Oh, dang it. That's not what I wanted to do. What I didn't want to do is put pressure on the wrong end and end up snapping it off the top. That sucked. That was not cool at all. Hello, everyone, says Redman Prospecting. Still have a bit of that brown on top of that golden green running across here. The way the light is yellowing out is not helping. It might be the red background too. Very possibly. Maybe it is ready to go to the soft 600 for a second. Trying to decide that. Fire Slayer asked me if I ever covered any red barrel while I was at Topaz Mountain, and to tell you the truth, I did not. The first couple times I went out there, I was pulling out so much topaz and had found a couple of big lottery pieces that I was just eager to fill my topaz bucket back then. I didn't even go up an adventure looking for the red barrel but one time, and the one time I went up there, I don't remember what distracted me, but I didn't make it very high up on that side. So that is definitely in the future plans, possibly on one of the public digs I do in the future. Not sure yet, though. Not sure yet. Yeah, I believe this stone is ready for a different grit. Some red and bronze and still a little bit of brown agate, but that brown agate, when it's going away, in some of these areas, it's disappear into a red agate and then a white agate, and then who knows, not much after that. That's one thing about this piece, is the color that we see might be all that we get, but it's still a fair size fire agate stone when it's done. I'm making my voice all grindy for some reason. Don't know why I'm doing that. And next time I'm doing this stuff live for you carving, it's going to be a tad bit different than this right here. I will have better optics, better shot, but at the same time, I will not be able to respond to you guys nearly as quickly due to the fact that there will be like a 30-second delay on the broadcast. But the cameras are going to be way better, and I should have multiple camera angles, so I should be able to have a camera on my face and stuff like that. The issue right now for me is setting up the area inside of this small room to be able to run all of the computer equipment that actually makes that stuff a reality that I'm talking about right there. Now, there was another question that came in a second ago. Let me see. How do we find out about Public Dig at Topaz Mountain? You subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification and make sure you're paying attention every time I put a video up, because usually if I'm inviting people out, then there's usually some sort of fee associated with it and stuff like that. So I usually do some sort of advertisement video and then have listings inside my Etsy store. So really it's about paying attention to the videos here, and I'm trying to branch out on other social media platforms, but I'm really not very good at that. There's a bunch of the other social media platforms. I'm just not good at devoting the time to it, to tell you the truth. This stone, I'm just trying to get rid of some of the tool marks. This thing has a fair amount of tool marks on it. It's a great looking stone. Great ring stone. Maybe just drill the back and turn it into a pendant. And I'd already polished it to like a 3000. It had a lot of shine on it here and there, but I could see these tool marks that I really wasn't liking, so whoops. Excuse me. See if I can clean up some of these areas I had some of these tool marks on. Oh, shoot. And that's why using gloves with these things can be a bad idea. Especially if you're using the cheap ones that are just you turn them on and let them go. So your glove gets bound up in there and ends up snapping the drive shaft. At least with the one with the foot pedal, you can just let off the foot pedal real quick and no harm, no foul sort of area. So let me go over a couple other areas I know I have some major tool marks in, and then after that I'll dry this stone off and see if I lost some of those tool marks. And I think I had the tool marks in this stone because you guys didn't see it on camera, but the first time I went to carve at it, there's a lot of surface fire on it and a lot of that sort of coppery bronze right on top. So I was just wanting to knock off some of that coppery bronze, and I did that with an inverted cone. And instead of like using motions like I am right now, I pretty much just went here and there, and I think that's what made the tool marks in there, because it wasn't small round movements or defined carving at all. Excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. Itchy, itchy. This is from the claim I helped manage, Opal Hill and Fire Agate in California. I will be selling some of this stuff here this evening in the 1-minute auctions live on this channel, 9:30, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, 9:30 Central, which is what I am. I'm Central Time. All right, I need to grab my glass of water real quick, pardon me. All right. Let me dry this piece off real quick and see what it looks like. Well, getting rid of some of the tool marks, but still have these indention areas like that right there. Like I was chasing some of the iron looking stuff right there out. Like, might not even be me, like that center swirl right there. That's not me. That's just the way the stone is. I want to have these ready to go out soon. I'm gonna owe 6 stones to my patrons here real soon, and I've owed the 3 for a while. I mean, for such a while that I feel really bad about it. That's why I'm getting this stuff done now, because the person who won the original Fire Agate 5,000 subscriber person that won that has his he wasn't trying to complain, but his point is extremely valid. And although, you know, I've been sort of nursing these wounds and trying to stretch and do stuff like that to make them better, I need to make sure I stay on top of what I owe my people. I don't like making promises and then not coming through at all. It's not my bag, man. So I'd like to get 3 stones done really soon, and then get 3 more stones done really soon. And I've been grabbing out some of the nice stuff that I've been running across. I'll probably get a bunch of the rough shaping finished with this 600, and then do a video after that that was like the last carving video I put up, which is some music and the video edited here and there and a little bit of speed up, and not that you guys have to sit here and watch me actually do the tedious parts. Although, at least when you see that, it gives you a realistic expectation, which is part of the reason I even started my YouTube channel, was, or at least this YouTube channel, was about giving people a real expectation of what they could expect out of the places they were going to go hunting for gems and minerals. Oh. Definitely a cool looking stone though, that's for sure. Cool. Let me dry it off again and then see what I'm working with. I don't want to go too overboard. The light that I'm working with right here is not showing off the stone the way it really should be. It is definitely showing off a little bit too much of a bronze and gold, whereas like it's green and orange and yellow. But it's definitely doing that in a couple of spots because of the way this flash is yellowing out. That little indentation right there is what I'm really trying to sort of smooth out to get that red to sort of roll over onto that bronze and green right there instead of having that like that dead spot. But it's not doing what I want it to at the moment. It's that little divot. That little divot is not doing what I want it to. But this is almost like the color sort of spiraled in and laid in there. The way the iron lines are going through it. I call it iron lines. I would have to have a geologist actually tell me what those lines are, but being that the color is coming from iron. And it looks like there might be a really nice color down there in the center, so I'm really not too scared about trying to shape it properly. I think there's, you know, more good stuff underneath. Redman Prospecting says it's a large ocean snail. Greg Calmaster asks, what kind of polish do I use as the last polish? And the very last thing I use is cerium oxide right now. That's after I use Diashine. I'll use some cerium oxide. Yeah, I definitely like opals, and I'm definitely a giant fire agate fanatic. Redman Prospecting says he finds blue agate with fire out there. Sounds pretty cool. concentrating right now on trying to get this little dash of like white agate that's trapped inside the color. It's just small, but I can see it, and it's sort of bothered me. And it's on a layer of brown. There it is. You can see that right there, that little speck right there. So I'm shaping the stone with this 600 right now, and I'm trying to get that speck out of there. See, I can't wipe it away. Trying to get that, and I'm also trying to take care of this divot that's in this dome and sort of get this dome to roll right across like that. It's getting there. It's not quite where I want it to be, but it's getting there. Got some forward progress, a little bit of motion. Get my foot back down here on the trigger. Actually, I'm scared I'm going to start losing color down in that center if I don't start changing aggressiveness of burrs. I'm thinking I need to change aggressiveness of burrs and go from a 600 to a 1200. And I'm also going to use a soft tip burr. I think that's where I am on this stone. But before I do that, before I go changing burrs, since I've been burning through this burr as far as it goes, I'm going to use this one on one more stone real quick. Oh. Going to use this on one more stone real fast. So hopefully I can get a couple of more closer to being finished and good enough to send off to a couple of patrons, because my patrons are super patient. Like I get the fact that they're like truly supporting the channel and the adventures, and that's really what they're supporting, and that the stuff they get on the side is just, you know, an awesome extra. And I definitely want to keep up on those awesome extras, though. I want to keep them being awesome. I want them to be stuff that people like and cherish, but I'd also like them to be on time. So I'm trying to get back to being on time for my people right now. So this is where I'm at on this one right now. I'm going to set this aside, put it in the rinse bucket. That one went in the rinse bucket. Drop the other one in the rinse bucket too. I forgot to do that earlier. Whew. Now, you guys, this light is just yellowing everything out so much because, and it might be because I don't have enough ambient lighting in the room. I didn't ambiently light the room this time like I did last time, and I think that's really messing up what you guys are seeing, because while you guys see all orange right here, I'm seeing greens and yellows and orange, and it's just not all washed out sun color like you guys are seeing. That's definitely not what I see. I'll show you this stone again though, in better lighting. Pretty much what I'm going to do on this one is the top's almost ready to go. There's a few tool marks here and there, and I want to sort of flatten out these edges on the sides a little bit. Make it easier to turn it into a stone you can set inside of something when I'm done with this on the wheel. And then this will probably be one of my patron stones also. Oh, don't want to get it eaten up in there like that again. Run the risk of breaking a shaft, and really don't want to do that because every time I have funds to use, I allocate them towards something, and recently all of my funds have been allocated. Still need to get some wheels. But my hands have been so messed up, I haven't been worried about getting wheels either. 12 of you in the room, feel free to talk amongst yourselves. Lots of times there are people in the room that have better information than I myself have on certain subjects. Oh, off-camera shot. Sorry about that. I have no idea what anyone follow Q means. Well, it looks like on that side there's a bit more fire agate hidden under there than I gave it credit for. The way it's magnifying out of that little hip right there, though. I'm just going to keep going for the general shaping I am. Nope, have no idea who that is. Fire Slayer asks if the dude Crit Cal Master's talking about is a prospector, right? That's a fair question considering most of my channel's content. Crit Cal Master's like, no, he's a DJ. It's like that's the other random thing I tend to put on my content. Whoops. Dropping it in the water and a little slew of yuckiness below. All I'm really trying to do with this stone is get the tool marks out of it and make it not so jagged on one end so I can turn it into a gemstone that can be set inside of a setting. That's the plan on this one. It's beautiful. It's got great greens and oranges striping in it. You guys can't see it. All you guys are seeing is blown out yellow and orange. That's not the way the stone looks, but it's totally okay. I'm gonna get rid of some of these tool marks here. And then this one's gonna be ready to be finished with some soft points. Ah, shoot. Whew, that was close. Close to wrapping it up anyways. My hand's starting to cramp really bad. That thing ate up inside of my finger, got it wrapped up inside of this, and as it was wrapping up in there, I pulled my foot off of the trigger, but it wasn't slowing up fast enough, so I was able to just pull this directly out of the sleeve, which might not be that great. But this, see how my tip looks? That tells you how iron laden my water is here. I haven't even used it that much, and I've already got rust inside of my tip. Haven't even used it that much. Just because I did that, take that silly old glove off. It's obviously getting too loose. It's all loosey-goosey, getting all wound up on me. Dry that off a little bit better. Let me see how if I've done anything to those tool marks on top. Definitely has a bit of a nicer shape to it. You guys can see the color a bit better now too. Without all the water on it, you can see that yellow and the green and the orange. Yeah, that's a bit better. That's more what I was looking for. Oh, there's a section on here. It could totally use a little bit better still. See that little white line right there? That white line and these two white lines on this side. These need a little bit more work. So I'm going to do that real quick. Hopefully we'll get through those white lines relatively fast. Cal Master had a question there if I'm taking off the clear. Yes and no. I had taken off clear and brown. Just that white line was something that doesn't have color in it, so I'm hoping it's not just a white agate line that goes directly through the color. That's possible. Not at all what I want. Not like the rock cares what I want. Whoa, almost did it on the other finger. right, let me check that one out now. See how it's looking. Oh, it's still pretty bold across the side of that thing. And the one going through the center too, or the side. I almost start to think that white line might have been one of the iron lines that's carrying that color. But I am getting better color on the side of the stone too. I'm gonna wipe it off again and see what I got going on. 58 minutes in and my hands aren't doing too bad. I'm might test out the light. Oh look, there's another freaking, nope, that moved. Cool, that was just a piece of dust. Wipe that off again. Go through it. Well, it looks like on this outside row, most of it's gone. It's got a little hair of it left right there. But it is totally the ring of the color that was above. So I'm thinking about just leaving it because I can see how it follows the line of that color. So I'm hesitant to necessarily take it completely out. Maybe I'll just go and hit it with some of my polish burrs and see what I get out of that before I take it down too much more. I don't want to lose that fantastic broad color I have on top. Definitely don't. So I'm put this stone on the side for the minute, because really good advice that I get every single time I listen to anybody on Facebook or YouTube or anybody that knows anything about carving fire agate, they all have one really solid piece of advice, and that's anytime you're in question or you're tired or you start getting frustrated, just stop working on that stone or the stones in general. Just stop. You'll do yourself a lot better in the long run. And I tend to agree with that one. Hard not to. This is one of those things to where your temperament and your patience can really contradict what kind of stone you come out with. And anybody that knows me really well would say that my temperament and my patience is both faulty. They're both faulty. Mad Mac asks, who makes the bits I am using right now? And the burrs that I am using are from Varencore. This specific one came from the Jade Carver. And I have some other ones in here, like this one, which is also a Varencore burr. This came from Mountain Mist. I am working on getting a website up and running and also carrying these guys' tools for you, the tools I would use, the tools I believe in. That way you guys can have like one place you go to. You can both learn and buy the supplies you need. And so like everybody else is trying to do, I can make this thing a living, breathing, thriving beast all on its own, and then I can go out and do a bunch of fun stuff and record that and, you know, have it all be paid for. Living the dream, man. Doing it for the people I want to do it for instead of some asshole I have to do it for. I want to be the asshole you have to do it for. Just kidding. This is just a 600 burr. This is a little bit too soft, but there's so much color right on top. Let me zoom in so you guys can see it. That I want to go with something a little bit harder, but not too much. And I don't own that burr yet, so I need to buy some more burrs. But I mean, I can see red and bronze and copper and green all hiding in here. Some nice thickness of color bars looking on the side, maybe some saginite crystals going on inside of it. So great piece to carve, but if I sit here with this 600 burr just on top trying to go through this, I think I'm going to be here for a really, really long time. On this one, I'm thinking I need a minimum of like, I should be going with like a 200 at the not coarsest. What's the opposite word of coarse? At the finest grit? Yeah, I think the coarsest I should be going at is around 200 right now, because like this layer, that section right there, and that like coppery, almost rusty color, that's sitting right on top of the color. Like that, if I touch that with this, that should start to do some exposing of some kind. It's like right on top of the color. So close to the color that, see how that red starts to peek through just from that? That I don't even want to hit that with a hard burr. I want it, yep, change the bits, says Crit Cowmaster. I don't have the burr that I want to use on this. I don't own that burr anymore. Unfortunately, I broke it on the side of my bathtub. So I'm probably going to stop for the minute. Give my hands a break. Take this out. That's probably what I'm going to do for right now. Is I'm probably going to stop for a minute, give my hands a break. But I have some equipment downstairs that I have been fiddling with to try and get my live stream stuff dialed in. And I'll probably play some music on that a little while later and test the YouTube live stream on that equipment and not on the phone. I did a test that was private on it a little bit, but I want to test a longer test, and I'll probably make it public, and it'll probably just be me mixing some music. You know, one of those things that's completely off key of the general premise of what I do on the channel generally. But at the same time, I've been moving a little bit away from just being focused on mining stuff because there's so much stuff that I want to show, share, give opinions about, especially when I'm going out and I'm making videos for the Mining America show. When I'm going out and I'm making those videos, there's so much stuff that's happening in small town America that I want to show and I want to highlight and I want to talk about and I want to start conversations about. And that's part of the reason why I've wanted to sort of veer the content away a little bit to not just being about prospecting and hunting for gems and minerals and mining. Although there is a lot of content to be made on that sort of stuff. So I love you guys for watching. I'll have my auctions tonight at 9:30, and make sure you hit that bell notification so that anytime I'm doing something that you get let know. Although you have to hit the bell notification, and then you actually have to go down there and tell YouTube how often you want to be notified when I do something. But besides that, auctions are at 9:30 tonight. I'll probably play some music for you guys before that. And yeah, I'll see you soon. I'll see you again soon.